Tesla sets yet another new delivery record. Some cars may see unexpected range degradation, and Tesla has a shot to make direct sales progress in another state. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 533 for July 3rd, 2019. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a Model S, X, or 3, please consider using his referral code. Ask your salesperson to use code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 and pick up a 1,000-mile supercharging credit for your new vehicle. As the show title says, I'm running out of superlatives to bestow on Tesla, as yet again the company announces record deliveries for Q2 2019. If you follow the financial side of Tesla, you may have seen many so-called analysts predicting Tesla would miss its target of 90,000 deliveries for this quarter by as many as 20,000 vehicles, supporting this analysis with Q1 results. What those analysts failed to account for, despite it being blindingly obvious, are multiple one-time occurrences in the quarter which contributed to the less than stellar quarterly result. Getting down to specifics, Tesla delivered 95,200 vehicles this quarter, 77,550 of which were Model 3, and the remaining 17,650 of which were Model S or Model X. Again, I'm really disappointed that they don't split those out any longer. Anyways, Tesla produced 72,531 Model 3s in the quarter and 14,517 Model S's and Model X's in the quarter. With the difference in production versus deliveries, it's clear the 11,000 in-transit vehicles at the end of Q1 have much to do with the success of the quarter. Tesla ended this quarter with 7,400 vehicles in transit to customers, though one thing to note is that we will not get this metric going forward, as Tesla believes it is no longer relevant due to the way cars are produced and matched to owners. Very few vehicles are custom order now, and are instead produced in batches and then matched to owners that ordered them. Because of this, a car may be produced but not yet purchased, and as such, the difference between production and delivery numbers can no longer be relied upon as a purchased vehicle not yet delivered, though some most certainly still are. Speaking of orders, in its press release, Tesla said that orders exceeded deliveries for the quarter, and as a result, the backlog of orders has actually increased going into Q3. So much for the demand cliff narrative that many naysayers have been throwing about since Q4 last year. So with another record quarter for deliveries, the big question is whether or not the financials bear the same fruit after we saw lots of belt tightening over the last couple quarters. The last time we saw record deliveries back in Q4, record profits also followed. Let's hope we see the same thing again. Electrek brings us our last two stories today. First, we have an interesting story where some owners of older vehicles are seeing a drop in maximum range after recent software updates. Those affected have reported drops in maximum range of between 12 to 30 miles in a short time frame. The software update that seems to have started this was 2019.16.1 and 2019.16.2, and the only vehicles reportedly affected have been the 85 kilowatt-hour versions of Model S and Model X. Electrek asked Tesla for comment, and they responded that the reduction seen was indeed due to a software update in order to, quote, protect the battery and improve battery longevity, end quote, and that only, quote, a small percentage of owners, end quote, were affected. I can report that personally, I've been running ineffective firmware for about a month and a half now, and I own a Model S 85D. I have not seen any appreciable difference in maximum range, holding steady at 255 miles or roughly 410 kilometers. Gonna charge to 100% today and report back on what I see. I suspect that those affected may supercharge more frequently or charge to a higher state of charge on a regular basis comparatively. I drive my car like a 90-year-old, and I only charge it to 80% unless there is a day in which more is warranted. I am hypersensitive to keep this battery in top condition for as long as possible. Lastly, in the news section, Electrek is reporting that Wisconsin may be showing some love for Tesla thanks to an unexpected source. It turns out that Rich from the Electric Garage isn't the only guy rebuilding salvaged Teslas out there, and the newest hobbyist happens to be a state senator from Wisconsin. The assist that Tesla looks to get here is one that is near certain to pass, as it is tied to the state's budget. Senator Chris Kapenga has been trying to get Wisconsin's direct sales laws changed for some time, but Republicans looking to pass a budget bill came to him with a compromise. If he voted for the bill, language would be included to permit Tesla to sell direct to consumers in Wisconsin. Hopefully, this is the type of win-win compromise that is all too scarce in today's U.S. politics, and everyone ends up benefiting. I'll keep an eye out to see if another state gets to join the Tesla party. On to some show news before I close. Some of you may recall, though I didn't shout it out far and wide, that May was a month where I was doing a Patreon supporter drawing to win a Google Home Mini. My apologies for the delay on this one, but the drawing has completed. Anyone that was a Patreon supporter in the month of May was eligible to win. In a random drawing, actually determined by the results of a somewhat cryptic poll I posted in June, where the percent of the vote that went to the option number 2 was going to be the number that I selected that corresponded with supporters in alphabetical order, Dory and Steve Guberman have won the Google Home Mini. Please feel free to DM me on Twitter or message me on Patreon with an address that I can ship it to. I thank you both very much for your continued support. Stay tuned, I happen upon some neat stuff every so often, and I'm happy to do giveaways when I do. And for any folks out there that make Tesla accessories that might want to give something away via the show, I'm happy to talk. I'm sure the listeners would love a shot at the free swag, and I am definitely willing to give it to them. My Twitter DMs are open. That is it for today's show. Thanks very much to the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level over at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. They are Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dory and Steve Guberman, Bruno Condici, Joey Boots, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Adam Raymer Brown, Megawatt Photovoltaic Development, Todd Sullivan, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morven Ogg, Blake Thompson, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Michael Pastroni, Travis and Cheyenne Rush, Chris Hovis, Craig Murphy, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Bian Concepcion, Nathan Garza, Paul Goena, and Ed Patterman. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard, as always, is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. I'll see everyone back here again on Friday. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.